Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down something incredible. Exactly how a modest $2,400 a month income can be transformed into a powerful, unstoppable financial ecosystem in just 5 years. We're getting into a real masterclass in financial architecture today. If you've ever felt like building lasting wealth is just, reserved exclusively for high earners or people who inherited a fortune, you are absolutely going to want to pay close attention to this. What we're unpacking today is a precise, step-by-step blueprint that relies entirely on discipline and structure, not luck.
So let's kick things off with a huge question that our source material poses right out of the gate. Why is it that two people making the exact same low salary can end up with totally different financial realities almost immediately? It's like one of them stumbles upon this hidden doorway, while the other remains permanently stuck running in place. Well, we're going to reveal exactly where that hidden doorway is and how you can walk right through it.
To do that, we're going to map out this exact 5-year roadmap. We'll start with the core blueprint, dive into the intense structuring of year 1, build momentum in year 2, expand through years 3 and 4, and finally hit the acceleration phase in year 5. All right, let's get right to it.
Section 1. The Blueprint, Structure over Salary.
Here's the foundational secret that makes this whole thing tick, especially when you're starting with a lower salary. A lot of people think wealth takes 30 years and a massive trust fund. But the reality? The difference doesn't come from luck or talent. It comes from the structure they built. Your starting salary is absolutely not your ceiling. Those first 2 years of building rigid financial structures, that determines if your future is a slow climb or an absolute breakthrough. And the crazy part is, all of this happens quietly in those first 24 months, long before any flashing money shows up in your accounts. You start exactly at the starting line with the salary you have right now. The goal isn't overnight riches, it's to create a path so precise that wealth basically becomes mathematically predictable by year 5.
Moving into Section 2, Year 1. Going from reacting to directing.
Year 1 is huge. It all starts with one massive decision. You have to stop reacting to your income and start aggressively directing it before life gets in the way. You do this by tackling 4 distinct survival steps to build your financial armor. Step 1, and this is absolute bedrock, you set an automatic transfer for $200 to $300 the very second your paycheck lands. Not after rent, not after groceries, you literally remove the illusion of choice. Step 2, build a $1,000 emergency buffer by saving just $50 a week. Listen, this isn't a luxury, it's your shield. It protects your blueprint from every flat tire or random dental bill. Step 3 is ruthless. You destroy that 19 to 20% high-interest credit card debt. Having a low salary isn't your biggest problem right now, that interest rate is. You attack it with every extra dollar. Finally, step 4 is plugging those invisible budget leaks. We're talking about those daily lunches that cost way more than you think, or those 3 streaming services you literally haven't watched since 2021. You plug them not because the amounts are huge, but because getting the direction right compounds over time.
Now, as year 1 wraps up, something amazing happens. You experience this massive psychological shift. With that buffer growing and the debt shrinking, you're no longer living in a state of panic. When an unexpected bill shows up, it doesn't ruin the plan. When a problem pops up, it doesn't force you to pause your investing. You've successfully separated survival from strategy. You start seeing your small investments catch a rhythm, and maybe you even see those first dividends reinvesting. This psychological shift is exactly why you're going to walk into the next phase with a completely new level of confidence.
Which brings us to Section 3, Year 2, Building from Traction.
So in year 2, you aren't starting from zero anymore. You've got hard-earned traction. You survived the toughest part, and now you're looking for small, manageable ways to expand. The source material points out that it's time to bump up your primary income. But hey, you don't do this by taking some wild gamble or quitting your job overnight. You do it by taking a small, skill-based step. If you work in a warehouse, maybe learn equipment operation. Retail, take on shift lead duties. Just by leveling up your skills exactly where you are, you secure a modest $2 an hour raise.
And think about what that actually means. A $2 raise equals roughly an extra $300 a month in your pocket. This proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that your salary is not permanently fixed. Just realizing you have the power to stretch your earning ability is incredible fuel. And here is where the math gets seriously exciting. If you take that extra $300 a month and strictly redirect it into your investments for the next 4 years, it compounds into nearly $20,000 of value by year 5. Let that sink in. 20 grand. And you didn't even need a dramatic, risky career change to get there. You just needed one strategic step and the discipline to capture the difference.
The source makes such a fascinating point here, stating stability is the seed of wealth.
Year 2 is also when you bring in a simple side hustle. We're talking $50 to $200 a month from something like weekend deliveries, pet sitting, maybe a little micro-freelancing. The point isn't to find the perfect side business, it's to prove you can generate cash on demand. Pair that with expanding your emergency fund to cover 2 or 3 months of living expenses, and boom, you've built incredible stability. You aren't just hoping to save anymore, you are manufacturing financial direction. You finally have the breathing room to chase opportunity instead of just pure survival.
All right, Section 4, Years 3 and 4. Momentum becomes leverage.
We're moving into the middle years now. That early uncertainty and fragility, it's gone. Now you're optimizing this awesome financial machine you've spent the last 24 months building. In year 3, structure officially replaces panic and intent replaces hope. You're no longer logging into your bank account with anxiety, just hoping things look okay. Actually, you're checking your accounts with pure curiosity now. You act with deliberate intent, negotiating better rates on your fixed bills, consciously bumping up that side income with maybe one more tutoring gig or delivery shift, and every single extra dollar you free up goes straight into your investments. You're creating the actual conditions for success rather than waiting around for them to magically happen.
And this leads us to what the source calls optionality. This is such a cool concept. By year 4, your investments start generating their own gravity. You're seeing growth in the thousands, not just hundreds. And because of that, you realize you're no longer operating out of insecurity. That's optionality. It's the very first true signal that wealth is forming. You start actually imagining future choices. Like, hey, maybe I can move somewhere cheaper to save more, or maybe I can finally look for a better job because I have a real safety net. You aren't trapped anymore. You're operating like someone who finally understands the long game.
Which brings us to the final phase. Section 5, Year 5, Acceleration.
Year 5 is where the whole blueprint reveals its full power. Everything you've meticulously built over the last 4 years just clicks together. Your progress is now pure math, zero luck. This is the moment wealth stops being an abstract concept and becomes your daily reality. Look at the ecosystem you've created. Those automated contributions that used to feel so hard, they've naturally bumped up to $500 or $600 a month because your habits easily allow it. Your side income smoothly supplements your lifestyle. You've positioned yourself for higher earning roles. Your emergency savings make you practically bulletproof against daily disasters. And your investments, they're just growing mathematically through compound returns. You've built a literal financial ecosystem that automatically multiplies whatever money flows into it.
When we zoom out and look at this entire 5-year roadmap, it's wild to see how those tiny, disciplined steps in year 1 compound into an unstoppable engine by year 5. You went from strict survival mode and plugging basic leaks to gaining real traction, acting with deliberate intent, unlocking optionality, and boom, accelerating within your own financial ecosystem. The source even points out that the next 5 years will grow way faster than the first 5. All those early, hard-fought struggles are going to look like nothing more than warm-up laps.
The most empowering thing about this entire explainer is that literally anyone can do this, no matter what their starting income is. It all boils down to discipline, clarity, and just making the right choice, month after month. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. You've got the blueprint now. What is the very first structural, controlled change you are going to make to your money today to claim your financial future? Are you going to automate that first transfer? Or finally go to war with that high-interest credit card? The hidden doorway is wide open, but taking that first step, that's entirely up to you.